We are Magic 102.3 and 92.7, the real sound of the DMV. VJ in the midday, it's Vic Jagger. And you know, today is a proud moment to be a Washingtonian. Of course, I was born and raised in DC, and I'm happy to hear about DC's first ever mayoral maternal and health summit.
Yes.
Maternal health summit. Okay, maternal and infant health summit.
Yep.
DC's Mayor Muriel Bowser is here.
Thank you.
I have our chairperson and founder, Miss Cathy Hughes, and Dr. Nesbitt from the Department of Health, the Director of Department of Health.
Hi, how are you
today?
Great.
Okay, so we're so excited to have this summit here today, Mayor Bowser. Now, can you explain the importance and why this is important to you? Because I know you are like champion this entire campaign. So why
Absolutely.
is it so important?
Well, thanks first of all, Vic, for sharing this information with your listeners. It's always a pleasure to be with Cathy Hughes.
Yes.
And across because when we are with Cathy Hughes, we go across the nation. And this
and I'm going to babysit for baby Miranda.
Right.
I have that recorded.
Okay, believe me, I'll take her up on it.
Okay.
And so we are hosting in D.C. An inaugural maternal and infant health summit. It'll be this Wednesday, September 12th at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center. I have invited several mayors from across the nation to join me in this very important topic because while we're focused on improving our outcomes in D.C., we know it's an issue that affects cities and towns all across America. And our whole focus is to bring together moms, expected moms, and healthcare professionals to talk about how we can make sure that moms and babies are healthy before birth, during birth, and after birth.
Yes, and I recognize that earlier this year you introduced the Babies Act of
Absolutely.
2018. So this is something that is definitely important to you. And, you know, being a mom and also you, Ms. Hughes, being a mother, I know that Radio 1 is definitely partnering with this initiative. What made you want to get involved?
Anything that this mayor puts her stamp on, we're going to be there 1,000% for her in the city. Because since Marion Barry, we have not had anyone as dedicated to the people of the District of Columbia. We've had mayors who were dedicated to the district, but this mayor is in the same vein as Marion Barry, the people first, the residents of the city, and everything else follows. And for her to be so committed to having a healthy city is one thing to talk about prosperity, it's another thing to talk about jobs, housing, education. But if you aren't alive and if you're not feeling good, it doesn't matter whether or not you have opportunities. And one of the things that I was just earlier discussing with Dr. Nesbitt is the number of programs that we have in the District of Columbia to encourage people to take better care of themselves.
Yeah. So, you know, that's exactly one of the reasons why I was so honored and proud to join the mayor's team back in 2015 is that she absolutely gets the connection of health to everything else that a city wants to do, right? And you've nailed it, Ms. Hughes, that if you're not healthy, right, you can't do anything else.
Yeah, nothing else matters.
And being able to have your health at the time that you're born, we understand how that sets up the rest of the trajectory of your life. So that's critically important. And Mayor Bowser, as you mentioned, absolutely gets that. And so much of what we're trying to do and will accomplish at the summit is being able to explain to moms, new moms, expectant moms, people who support moms, why having a healthy start is so critically important to your overall health and in your long-term life.
And, you know, what are some of the biggest issues that you see coming into the doctor's offices with new moms or young moms? What are some of the issues that are really, you know, that you see a lot?
So there's three things that we want to be able to focus on here in the District of Columbia most immediately. We want to make sure that our women are healthy before they become pregnant. So when you talk about coming into the doctor's office, we want to improve the overall state of women's health in the District of Columbia. Right. The second thing that we want to do is have pregnant women coming into the doctor's office sooner. right? So making sure that women who are pregnant are getting into their prenatal care in the first trimester, because we know that that can improve the overall health of their baby and improve their overall health during the pregnancy and after the pregnancy. And then the third thing that we want to focus on is we want to make sure that more of our babies our moms are having fewer babies that are born too soon. So those are the three things that we want to focus on most immediately or here in the near term.
You know, Vic, one of the things with Serena being #1 in the news now, she almost died after her child.
She did.
And this whole issue of doctors and their patients being better connected, particularly women, because what Serena talked about after she almost died was that she had to really diagnose what was going on in her body, and they dismissed it. They thought she was talking out of her head because of pain medication, and she kept telling them, my body produces blood clots. I need for you all to give me a CT scan. Now, if she had to put her foot down and her family, I mean, and she's Serena Williams.
Right.
So who's going to listen to Jane Brown? Okay, right. Sally Smith. How are you going to be able? One of the things that I really hope that we explore on Wednesday, and you all need to come. Vic, you got to tell your listener and listening family and they got to be there Wednesday. It's free.
Absolutely free.
And even if they can only stay a short period of time. But I have never been to a male doctor. All of my doctors have always been female. Why are there so few women practicing OBGYN when that's the most important function that a woman could possibly go through?
Well, that's a loaded question. But you know, there is a huge focus on diversity in medicine. There's actually there was a recent article that was published as it relates to men's health. And African American men's health in particular. We talked a little bit earlier today about research and studies and best practices, but there is some correlation between racial concordance and gender concordance and patient
such as the mayor sent me a research package the size of a New York phone book.
Yeah,
okay, men get in to see their doctors. Their wait time in the waiting room is half of what women have to undergo when we go in the doctor's office. Why in the heck do I have to wait twice as long to see my doctor?
You know, Miss Hughes going to let you that.
These are great questions, Miss Hughes. And I don't know that we're going to solve all of them, but between 9 and 3 p.m. on Wednesday,
we're going to
be addressing them because the point that you make with Serena Williams is sometimes people think that it's the people who don't have a lot of money or they're too young and they don't get the best care. Here you have a multi-millionaire, over 30 years old, and here she is having the same conversation that you might think about a expected mother in an entirely different socioeconomic status. So what did this put in my brain very clearly is we got a problem.
Yes.
And it's not about income. It's not about age. And we don't know exactly what all of the causes are for Black women having poorer outcomes in childbirth. But we need to be talking about it, and we need to talk about it at a high level. That's why I have the collection of mayors that I have coming to this summit represents thousands of African American women, probably millions of African American women. The CBC that's going to be meeting here this weekend to talk about policies that affect the African American community represent all of us. So we need to be talking about, like we are in D.C., if we have to change the law with the babies bill, we have to find ways to attract more people, more African Americans to practice in our cities.
Yes.
And sometimes they're in high-risk environments.
Yes.
And those are policy decisions that have to be made to equalize some of those risks so we have great people going to serve our residents. All of our residents are deserving of high-quality care.
And you know what, Mayor Bowser, let's talk about child care as well, because I have a number of friends who spend a lot of money on child care. And I know that's one thing that's also important to you with your Thrive by 5 initiative as well.
I love love that name too.
Yes.
Thrive by Five.
And it's so important. And what we know is from 0 to 3 years old, 0 to 5 years old can really change the trajectory for a child in a family. And we've been focused on child care too. Now, you know, everybody that's listening to you know that we have a thriving city.
Yes,
One of the hottest cities in the nation. And part of that means everything gets more expensive. We've been focused in the last 4 years on making housing more affordable. And last year, we launched a child care initiative to make child care more affordable as well. One thing that we're doing is we're modeling something that has worked very well in the federal government, making D.C. government space available so that a child care operator can come in and offer child care opportunities. The council has also moved some legislation that looks interesting but very expensive. So we're going to work with the council to see if there are ways to fund that. The way that we will continue to grow as a city is to make sure we can have more affordable housing and more affordable child care opportunities for young families. But even with that, I hope that people will reach out to us because there are a lot of opportunities depending on your income. And we can partner with you to make sure that you have everything available.
You know, I definitely don't want women to think that, you know, just if you want high quality, you know, child care, that you have to spend a whole lot of money to get it, because there are so many programs and opportunities in the district that will help a lot of mothers.
Absolutely. We subsidize a lot of child care opportunities. We work with especially women who are interested to get back to work. There are a lot of opportunities that we can help train you, help get you back to work, and offer subsidized child care opportunities. We're paying our child care providers more, and that has been an issue. We're encouraging our child care providers to get better training. This is one thing I'm a stickler about. The government makes huge investments in child care opportunities, and we expect our providers to be helping to get our children ready for school, to educate them so they're learning while they are in child care, and that is so hugely important. And we want our child care providers to be able to earn a good income so that they too can afford to live here right in DC.
Dr. Nesbitt, you said something earlier, and tying into what the mayor just said. That's the reason Wednesday is so important, because you have these programs, but if people don't know about them, they're of no good to them.
That's right. That's right. So we want to make sure that all of our residents and all of the expectant mothers, people who support mothers, are able to access the resources that we have. But more importantly, that people who provide services in the District of Columbia are providing high quality resources and programs. We won't advance the health of our community if we have people who are accessing resources and programs that are disparate in quality. If we are providing resources on one side of the town that are not as high quality, that don't prepare our families and our children in the same way that resources and programs on another side of town do. And so one of the things that we are able to do as a government is to convene people and to share information and to provide technical assistance and to help our community-based organizations and academic institutions partner together to be able to offer those high quality programs and services, and more importantly, to educate the community on what's available out there. We know that access to medical insurance is not a problem here in the District of Columbia. We know that
98% of us have insurance.
That's right, and so it's about that. We often talk about it as the secret sauce. So what's the secret sauce that we need to add to all of these things that exist to really be able to get the outcomes that we're looking for?
That is awesome. So before we wrap up, Mayor Bowser, I know today is Maternal Monday, and you do it every Monday on Facebook Live.
Yes.
Are you excited about it? Has it been fun so far?
It has been fun. Haisuk Chung has been leading that effort for us to talk to women in government, working moms, single moms, and what I say, when I saw that, I said, make sure you're talking to some regular moms. Not just in the government. You go out in the community and you talk to folks about your experience. Definitely. And some of that is having a forum for people to just share and talk, but also to highlight the programs that are available directly to DC government and our trusted partners.
Well, I am so happy that we can make this a Maternal Monday.
Thank you.
With you.
Yes, and I want everyone that can hear our voices to come out to DC's first ever mayoral maternal and infant health summit. It's happening on Wednesday, September 12th at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center. Miss Hughes will be speaking with Mayor Bowser, and Valerie Jarrett will be there as well. Dr. Nesbitt, I'm sure you will be in attendance and giving all the
She'll
information.
be running everything. She better be in attendance.
And she charges by the hour if y'all need it.
Everything's free. They're
Everything
even
is
going to
free.
have food.
Yes.
Yes.
All
So
right.
we don't feed you.
Right, exactly. They're even going to feed you. There's no excuse. You need to come and get connected. Inform yourself of the services that are available to you. And also, the mayor welcomes the opinion of what we could do better in the city to be of service to the women in our community.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for coming in today. I appreciate it. September 12th, everyone, Walter E. Washington Convention Center. We will see you there. It's Magic 102.3 and 92.7.